Hello, it's Crafty Rhea. I am so glad you are joining me again today. I will be using some of the products that I got in my last L Beads haul. It's lbeads.com, and you can look back a couple of videos and I'll show you everything I got. I am one of their design team members, and I create videos with some goodies from their website. They let me choose some items and then they send them to me, and I have to make an unboxing video and then 2 project videos. So this is the first project video from this order. They are a wonderful company to work with, and they have great customer service. I ordered this big roll of rainbow bling. I'll show it to you on white. This roll is humongous, and I am so excited to use that today in one of my projects. And then I also ordered this pack of shimmery papers. It comes in 5 different colors. You get 2 sheets of each color, and you get 3 packs. So you get 30 sheets of this shimmery paper, and I'm going to use the red and the green today for some Christmas cards. I also want to show you my nails. They don't only have crafting goodies, they have other things, and I happened to find these nail stickers on their website. I used almost a whole package. I just have a few pieces left over, and I did my nails. They've been on about 5 days, and there is some minimal wear up at the tip, but they did last way longer than nail polish would last on me. So I do like them. They were fairly easy to apply. They're a little thicker than some of the other brands that you might be familiar with of the nail stickers. But they did go on pretty easy, and they are very, very glittery. So let's go ahead and get started making some recycled Christmas cards out of these goodies. I will link my unboxing video below, and I will put links to the products that I'm using today. I'm going to recycle this Christmas card and this Christmas card today. I thought this Christmas card went well with the red because of the red car, and then this one with the green. And I already went ahead and die cut some shapes out of the center just to save paper, and I can reuse these for something else. I went ahead and cut a couple of green Christmas trees and then this decorative oval. So, hey, that fits in there. Okay, those I'll set aside. And I will set these pieces aside. I will also be using these 2 5x7 card bases, blue and red. And I got these at Pat Catan's when they were going out of business. I got a really big package of them, or I should say multiple packages of them. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the car card, and I'll go ahead and cut it apart. I just want to cut the front off. And then I will cut the sentiment out of the inside. I think I will leave some of those snowflakes on there just because it's pretty. And I will save that piece. I'll trim the sides in a little bit. There we go. For this one, I'll be using the blue card base and the red shimmery paper. This paper is very thin, but it is very shimmery. I really like it. And I want to see how this looks on there and see if I want to trim down any more. I think that does look really good. I'm going to take a sliver off the top because it is bent up a little bit. Sometimes when cards get hung on the wall and moved around, you know, they do get bent up and dinged up a little bit. And while I have this out, I think I'm going to mat this on it, on this red. And this will be for the inside. And that way I'm using up a lot of the card. I love to recycle as much of the card as I can. And that'll be for the inside. All right, and this card is very thin and this paper is very thin, so I'm going to carefully use my tape runner to add adhesive to the backing. I don't want to use wet glue because I'm afraid it might leave a little bit of buckling. And then I'm going to just adhere it down to here. I want to be as careful as I can. I will say I already cut these pieces down so they are just a little bit smaller than the card base. And that's okay that that's buckling because this will cover that and you won't see that. So let's go ahead and put adhesive on this. I kind of made the paper a little weaker since I cut the card, cut a big hole out of the center of the base. There we go. So we do see a lot of that sparkle around the edge, and I was able to salvage a shape out of the middle. Now for the fun part, I went ahead and cut a strip of this bling, and I wanted all of the colors to show, so I cut 2 rows of bling and I cut it this way, and I went back over it really carefully to get off all of those little extra, as you can see on here, there's those little extra hairs. This one here I cut down really close and cut off all those extra hairs. You can use a really small pair of scissors. I use these. I've had these in my stash for a long time. I call them my ribbon scissors. I used to use them when I was sewing to cut the threads. And it is a Dura Sharp brand. I've had these for maybe 20 years. And they are still really sharp because I only cut ribbon and that sort of thing with it. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down. Before I adhere this big piece, I do want to adhere some hubcaps on the car. I have a little piece that came off it was one of the first pieces I cut off, and as you can see, the green is a little dinged up. But I do want to use these clear ones because I think they would go really good as hubcaps. So I'm going to trim off all those extra hairs on this one. And then I'm going to trim it off as close as I can to this big round piece. So I have one hubcap. I think they look exactly like hubcaps. And then I have one more hubcap, and I will put that one there. I will hold it up to show you that they look just like hubcaps. I'm going to use a little bit of my Elmer's glue and just put a dab right there, and put one right here. And this glue does dry clear, so in case any oozes out, it will be clear and you won't be able to see it. So there we have the two hubcaps. Now before I get too far into this, I do want to put this on the inside, the sentiment. So I'm going to just use my glue since I have it handy. And this is a little thicker piece of cardstock. And I'm just going to stick that right in the middle of the card, inside of the card. And then I have this piece here, which it fits perfectly across the card. So I will take my Elmer's glue and just put dots on each of these big pieces. And I have the fine metal tip on here. It's the one that comes with art glitter glue. If you have art glitter glue, that will work. You can also use tacky glue. Or you can use something like ribbon lines or something like that if you want. And I'm going to carefully pick this up and just line it up right on there and press it down. Now this is a non-porous surface, so it'll take a little while to dry. But there, that card is done. I love the little hubcaps. They're so cute. So I will set this card aside. I will get this card out and I'll go ahead and cut it apart. I'm just going to cut the fold off. And I'm going to leave that alone for the most part. And then I'm going to cut the sentiment out. It just so happens to fit on this scrap piece of paper, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and this time I'll do it on the red since it's a little brighter than the green, and the green will be on the outside. So I will have the red on the inside. It just kind of worked out like that on accident. And then I will trim this up. This cuts really easily with this style of paper trimmer. I have not tried it on the kind that slides. Those tend to not do as well with really thin papers. So I will put some adhesive on the back of this. And I will put this in the center of the card, in the inside of the card. And then that looks really pretty. So for the front of the card, I will adhere this paper down to it, and then I will put this card over it. And you'll never know that I have some shapes cut out, and I do, that I can use for another project. Those are called freebies. Now you can cut it out. I probably could have gotten 3 trees out of here if I spaced them properly. but I just didn't take the time to do that. Make sure my card is facing the correct way, especially since I put my sentiment on the inside. And then I'm going to try to line this up. It's a little harder because of the shape being out of the middle. I'm going to line it up this way, just because it gives me a little more control. There we go. And then I will adhere this down. That paper is not very firm, and it does flop around a little bit once you die cut shapes out of the center. And then we have that on there, and that paper is just so pretty. I absolutely love it. So then what I did with this wrap, I cut out single pieces, again with, I wanted the full rainbow effect, so I cut it this way, and then I trimmed off all of the little doodads, and I thought I would run this around the edges. Like that. And I will run it around the 4 edges. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other one and use my Elmer's glue and just put it on the big circles. And then I will carefully put it down this way. And what's nice about that glue is you have just a minute or so to move it around. Then I want to see how many I need here. If I put that like that, let me move this over a little bit. There we go. Okay, perfect. I'm going to cut that to the edge of this green one. And then I will put my little dots down. Okay, and then I want to see how this is going to look up the side. Let me get a full one. I have a couple more full pieces. And that one will work. And I have another full one here, which I will run up this side. I'm going to cut another full sheet or full strip off of here, and I'll show you how I do that. I just, here, let me bring you in a little bit. I just trim there. And I try to trim this first row as close to the jewels as I can, the jewels that I'm cutting off, so that way I don't have to trim up both sides. And then I will go around and trim off the extra doodads, those extra hairs. And there are 2 sets of small ones there, so I cut one of them off, the one that's not aligned in the center. Then I just go around taking off all those extra hairs. Okay, and as Carol Duvall would say, through the magic of television, which this isn't television, but through the magic of YouTube, it is all done. So then I'm going to go ahead and just place this one across the top, and I'll fill in that little gap. Let me bring it out so you can see what I'm doing. I forgot I had it zoomed in. Good thing I check it every so often. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there where those 2 little ones would end up being. It would just be really hard to get glue on the back of those 2 little ones. I just don't want them flopping around. Okay. There we go. I think that came out really, really cute. Let me know what you think. Well, I decided that I have a lot of these little scraps left over, and I really don't want to waste them. And you know me, I can't stop with bling. So I'm going to make them as toppers to the trees. So I will cut these out, 1 for each of the trees. Okay, I think that looks great, so I will go ahead and glue these down. I will just stick a little bit of glue at the top of each tree. This again is the Elmer's glue. There we go. That's how that card came out. It is so cute. And we also have this one, and maybe I'll put a topper on the top of that tree. I don't want to use a silver one since I used the silver ones as hubcaps. There we go. So we have one on the top of that tree. That looks really cute. This glitter paper and this diamond wrap is so beautiful. I think I'm going to have to share it with my Patreon subscribers in December as part of their goodie boxes. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do click on that subscribe button. I would love to have you join my YouTube family. Also, my Facebook group, Create with Crafty Rhea, is a whole lot of fun, and everyone there is just awesome. I would love to also have you join my crafty family there as well. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you. And until the next video, you know what to do. Go get crafting. Bye-bye.